Hi everybody! Happy Easter! And welcome to this very original 100 subscriber Q&A. Y'all have already seen this kind of video 1,000 times, so let's just get into the questions. So the first one comes from Instagram. When is the face reveal? So, two things with that. One, I'm a girl, and two, I'm a good looking one. So even just one of those is enough reason for people to be creepy. I know it's going to be an eventual thing that I do want to do someday. Maybe it might come sooner actually, because I do like doing panels and showing up to conventions, and I would like to start vending one day, and all of those, I could technically still wear a mask and whatnot, but I feel that it kind of hinders the experience between the customer and the vendor, so who knows? Who knows what I decide and if I'll ever actually start vending, I guess. But until then, keep your eyes peeled. Next question is, Segex? I love Segex. I have a lot of Segex, and everyone should have Segex. I recommend it to everybody. Now the next question is, what's your favorite food and favorite character you voice for VAs? Ooh, that's a good one. I have a lot of different favorite foods. I have a lot of different favorite foods from many different cuisines. Like, I really like my American pepperoni pizza with spinach. I like my green sour apples. I like buttered chicken, adobo, tacos, jamaicas. I really like all of those. I have a lot of favorite foods. And I don't know if I could ever really eat one food for the rest of my life, because I think I'd still get bored of it. But those are a couple to name off that anybody I think should give a try at least once. And favorite character you voice acted for? The person who originally asked this question, I've done some voice acting for them, and they have a series going on where I voiced a character named Bridget who's a mother whose daughter fucking dies, and she had to call to the police, so I had to do like a little emergency call, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I felt like that's like one that I was most proud of because it made it feel really realistic with the crying and screaming and shit like that. It was a lot of fun despite me having to do it in a fucking hotel room. But hey, I didn't get any complaints and I had a fun time. So yeah. Next question. How have you been? Oof. So I do plan on making like a video about this probably at like the 1 year mark, being like 1 year since being out the military, kind of like a 1 year mark video of being out the military, like the cheesy thing of what's changed, anything cool happened. But I can say so far it's been a roller coaster. One of the biggest obstacles being how I didn't make a lot of or really any long-lasting friendships in the military or anybody in there, and those that I talked to on a daily basis or at all. Once I got done traveling, it, left me being all alone and feeling very lonely and depressed. But I knew this preemptively, and I've been making a big effort to not be in such a rut and not be so down in the dumps, because I know all I need is just a really good group of friends. Because that's all anyone really needs, is like a nice circle of people that they can rely on. So I made the effort to put myself out there, going to conventions, seeing bands, seeing theater performances and shows. And I can definitely say that that's helped me out a lot. Like even last night I went to go see a show, and it turned into a whole crazy night that I hope to tell y'all about someday. Right now, I'm doing pretty well, and I'm really happy right now. So this next question is from Nina Lemons, and she asked, what inspired you to start YouTube? And what's your goal for your channel? Googly eyes. Kind of the same story that every other YouTube channel has, where they saw Domix and Swoozy, or even like Jaden Animations, or the odd ones out doing it, especially in like the golden age of like storytime animation. And I've always wanted to do that. I have a very extensive background when it comes to art. A lot of people have told me just to keep it as a hobby and do something that's more profitable. But after existing for 23 years on this earth and nothing else has worked out for me, this has been the only thing that's really been fulfilling to me and made me happy. Especially getting out of the military and having all this free time to myself now, I decided to fucking give it a try. And so far it's going pretty well. And there's a lot of people around me that support me and think I'm gonna do big. My ultimate goal is just to make stuff that makes me happy and that I'm proud of. And what's your goal for your YouTube channel? A goal for my channel? I think for now, just garnering a lot of people to come and support me and that like the stuff that I do. But I think beyond that, I hope for this to be kind of like a stepping stone for me to garner a fan base of people that support me and love my work, so I can do bigger and better things that I really want to strive for, which are like making a show or a movie. I've always wanted to go on tour and speak on panels, travel around the world, and seeing all fans. Like, I like that a lot. I love going to conventions. I've been going to them since I was a wee little girl. But I think the goal I have for now is maybe just a measly 500 subscribers by the end of the year. That's mainly what I'm wishing on about now. So I guess now I have a goal. Thanks for giving me the idea to create goals, because it is good to create goals for yourself. And the next one is, what's the biggest art style change you've made? I definitely have to say the transition from traditional to digital art. I was always a traditional artist, especially back in the day. But it was really the turning point of when I joined the Navy. I couldn't shovel all of my art supplies with me, especially when you're still at the beginning stages. You're mostly focused on school, learning your job, and especially me, since I had like 3 or 4 extra months of school for the specific command I was going to. And the only thing I really had with me was just my phone and my iPad. And that's what mainly pushed me to start learning digital art. So I guess thanks to the Navy for kind of getting me into digital art and putting in the time to understand and learn it, because oh my lord, that was one of the biggest learning curves I had to do. Basically had to relearn how to draw all over again, because those are really 2 different skills. And the next question is, where were you on 9/11? I was inside my mother's womb still cooking for another couple of weeks till I popped out. Now, where were my parents? They were at some Marine base in California. I don't remember which one. My dad was promptly sent home. The base was put on lockdown and no one can leave or enter on the base for about, I think he said, a week straight. And these next few questions are from YouTube. Now, this person asked, which branch of the military would you recommend someone to join if they wanted to become a part of the military? I was kind of confused when I first read this, because I'm like, well, any branch that you join or any way that you like become a part of the armed forces makes you a part of the military. But I'm guessing they mean like, what would they recommend to somebody? So from my very limited knowledge from when I was in for less than 4 years and in the Navy nonetheless, is definitely if you want to travel the world or definitely be stationed in really cool coastal cities, definitely recommend the Navy. I would say that definitely the Air Force is probably your best way to go if you want to get treated the best. And I definitely think that they're the happiest branch out of all of us. But I would definitely recommend for anybody to do their own research, talk to people who are in, people who are out, of many different branches and of different ranks. Because everyone's going to give you a different story and their own perspective onto it. And definitely ask yourself if this is something that you want to do. Sure, the benefits are nice and whatnot, but you are a soldier, a sailor, a marine, a military person 24/7, and you have to uphold that. And there is a lot of what you call fuck games within it, where you'll meet a lot of different people from all around the world, and some of them have very colorful personalities and philosophies. But if you can tolerate that and want to do it and put yourself through that, I would definitely recommend it. Now, this person asked 2 questions in one comment. The first one being, why did you personally join the military? I hate saying this because it feels so repetitive, but I would like to make a video about this sometime in the future, about what made me go in, what made me choose my specific branch, and the whole tea that's attached to that, because there is a lot of drama. But for the Cliff Notes version, I was supposed to join with somebody. They fell through, and I completed boot camp, and they did not. And I was left to serve in the military by myself. And the second question is, as a woman, do you think you were treated better, worse, or differently than the men, and how? I will definitely say kind of a mix of all, but more so in the realm of worse and differently compared to men in the military. It is a male-dominated sector of career and work. But again, I guess for the Cliff Notes version, I can definitely say, because obviously not all men are assholes or think less of you or treat you badly, but there's too many of them not doing anything about those who do get treated poorly. And so what's the point of like trying to differentiate them from those that are doing bad if they're just as well not doing anything to stop it? Like, for example, if only 1 in 5 men are like catcalling a woman, what's any different from it being all 5 of them if they're not doing anything to reprimand their buddy who's doing the wrong thing? And I think maybe a bigger thing that people should bring up is women in the military and how they can be your biggest enemy and make you their target as well. I definitely see it with older military members that are female hold on to the thought that you have to be quote unquote bossier or bitchier and hold this kind of demeanor and whatnot. And taking a step back and having some perspective on it, I see why they think they have to hold that demeanor. They have to act like that in order to get respect and be taken seriously, even if that means people disliking them. And that does make me really sad because it sucks to be only taken seriously when you're yelling or not being a girl's girl or doing one for the buddies or whatever you call it. I definitely will say that sexism still exists anywhere, but especially is a very ingrained thing into the military. I'd love to go in a lot more about it in a later video, but from uniforms to equipment to hierarchy, all of that is all still very sexist and ingrained into it and systemic. And you know what? I decided to choose a random question for my last one. And I just went to a random question that I saw, which is, what's something you've always wanted to do as a child but never got to do? Ooh. I guess this goes into like stuff that's on my bucket list. I definitely say I still want to visit Japan. I still to this day have not visited the land of the rising sun because I mostly went to the Middle East, but I definitely want to visit Japan one day. But I want to visit all the cool little spots. I really want to visit driving tracks, which aren't like actually driving tracks. They're just roads on mountains that are featured in Initial D. Like I really want to visit Mount Akina, Mount Gunma, the one where Impact Blue is, obviously Tokyo, Akihabara, Chiba, anything and everything there. I've always had a fascination with it ever since I got introduced to anime as a kid. My first anime being Fruits Basket. Like, at least first anime that I chose on my own. Because I have seen, like, the first episode of Pokemon again and again. But I definitely say when I was on Netflix, that was an anime that I chose to watch and I enjoy still to this day. And I'm so happy they did a reboot of it. Or, oh my god, whenever I first discovered Hatsune Miku from That World Is Mine shit, oh my god, that was my fucking jam. But yeah, to wrap it up, I really want to go visit Japan, and I might actually do so within the next coming months because I have nothing better to do. And that's about it. That's all I have for this 100 subscriber Q&A special. I really hope y'all enjoyed this and enjoyed my answers. The questions were really cool and nice. Some of them were a little silly. I still don't know what I'm putting up for the Speedpaint, so I hope it's something cool and hope it's, you know, nice to look at. Anyways, hope you'll have a nice day. Happy Easter to all of you, and I hope y'all stay safe. Bye-bye!